here on The Good You Present More Than a Club, a West Ham United Football Manager 24 save. We are blazing through this season. It's episode 6. We are just coming up to the festive period. We're going to go through all the games played in December. So we've got Premier League games, we've got Europa League games, we've got EFL Cup quarter finals, and busy period over December and the Christmas period, finishing off with a live playthrough of the Premier League game against Bournemouth. So let's just jump across and see how well we've been doing so far. And here we are at the London Stadium, and we've not been doing too bad. We're not great. We are currently media prediction of 10th. We are currently 8th in the league, sitting just outside the European qualification spots. If we make Europa League or Conference League at the end of the season, I'll consider that a success. We really are punching above our weight at the moment in real life, but we're just a point away from European spots. We're just 4 points away from Champions League spots, so there is the possibility of an absolute outstanding season still. We are still in the Carabao Cup. You've not seen the game yet, and obviously we've not played the FA Cup as of yet. As we go through the games we've got playing out this video, last time out we played out a drab 0-0 draw against Man U at Old Trafford. I'll take that. Respect the point, said a previous West Ham manager. Following Man U, just 3 days later, we were at home to Brighton, who we played and absolutely demolished in the 4th round of the EFL Cup. And this was another one where we pretty much took them to church. They didn't get a shot on target all game. We had 13 shots, 7 of them on target, scored 3 of them. And we really dominated the game from start to finish. So we started off in the 19th minute with the first goal. Scholes feeds Bowen, back to Scholes, nodded down for 4 now, and it's a fantastic finish across the keeper, in off the far post. That set us up really well. Then just on the half-hour mark, Fornals picks it up in midfield, plays it through a beautiful ball for Ollie Watkins. He lets it run across his body, and then a first-time finish across the keeper again. And then just before half-time, Bowen on the right, driving forward, plays it into Mo Kudus, and Kudus makes it 3 before half-time. That was it. That was game over. We didn't need to push anymore. We relaxed everything, calmed it all down, didn't go for the attacking, didn't press too hard. The game was marred by an injury to Ollie Scholes on the hour mark. He's come in, 17-year-old, and has been a breath of fresh air. So the 18-year-old now, been a breath of fresh air in the club at sort of a never say die. He's been playing as this attacking midfielder rather than the fullback that he is better or more accustomed to playing. But he's been really good. But he got injured in this game. But this was one that carried on the good form that we'd had against Brighton when we played them in the cup and demolished them 6-1. After Brighton and the good form carrying on, it was Maccabi Haifa in the Europa League. This was just a goal fest. We absolutely went to town on them. A hat-trick from Bowen, a hat-trick from Watkins, 2 for Kurt Zouma and 1 from Paquetá. We'll play through these goals, but these came thick and fast. 9 goals in the game. We didn't score until the 24th minute. Jared Bowen cutting inside onto his left foot and into the roof of the net at the near post to make it 1-0. Just 3 minutes later, a Bowen corner swung in and Kurt Zouma jumping the highest to make it 2-0. Then 5 minutes before half-time, a Bowen corner again to Paquetá, who lifts it to the far post, and Zouma lurking far post this time, nods it in. 2nd minute into the second half, Mo Kudus plays Paquetá. Paquetá, crowded out by 4 players, still manages to find Watkins, brings it onto his chest, and then hammers it home for 4-0. Paquetá feeds Kudus on 50 minutes, a square ball and a simple tap in for Watkins to make it 6-5-6. I'm losing count already again. Just for the hour mark, Paquetá again swinging another beautiful ball over, and there's Bowen at the back post to nod it down. VAR had a look, but there was nothing wrong with that. 4 minutes later, we were on it again, never levelling up, and it's another Bowen header, this time from a Max low cross. 15 minutes to play, Walker Peters gets on the ball. Alvarez turns and plays it into Mo Kudus. Watkins, and then Watkins unleashes a first time finish that nearly took the roof off. And then in the 84th minute, Divin wins the ball back well deep in their half, and Paquetá, not to be outdone by Ollie Watkins' shot from even further out, an absolutely beautiful finish, and that was 9. By far, it's a record for the most goals scored in a Europa League game. So most goals scored in a West Ham game. We've just absolutely torn this group stage apart in the Europa League. We've got records for most goals scored in the group. We scored 26 goals in 6 games. Obviously, 9 of those were in one game. So we did pretty well out there. Obviously, we've qualified top, played 6, won 6. After Maccabi Haifa, a tough game. Just 3 days later, it was Chelsea. We were away at Stamford Bridge, and after going a goal behind in the 24th minute, with Ben Chilwell digging across into the back post, and of all the people, Raheem Sterling, probably the littlest player on the pitch. We then lost Ollie Watkins to injury, but just 2 minutes later after the injury, Kudus feeds it onto Mbamba, and he helps the ball away. And then 5 minutes to go before the half, Mo Kudus plays a beautiful ball into Fornals, who brings it forward and guides it past Petrovic in the Chelsea goal. 2-1 it was, 2-1 it stayed, and it's another one where Chelsea had the ball. You kind of expect that there at home, but we had more chances. We had more chances on target. We had a higher XG. So yeah, sure, they had the ball. They didn't do anywhere near as much with it as ourselves, and it was a really good result. After that, we were riding high, but 3 days later, it was just one game too many within a tight time span. I mean, we are now looking in 17 days. This is our sixth game in 17 days. It's third game in 6. It's just a ridiculous amount of games, and it was just a game too many. It was Liverpool away, so you were at Anfield as well, and they just bossed us. They picked us apart. There was only very few. The 2 fullbacks, the only ones really that came out with it with any kind of credit. But it was Carabao Cup. We got to the quarterfinals. It's about where we expected to be. It'd been nice to get a trophy, sure, but que sera, sera, as it is. And that kind of knocked us on our stride after being not losing since the end of September, when we lost to Bournemouth. We'd gone all through October and November and halfway through December without losing in all competitions. Kind of knocked us off our stride, and the next 2 games were draws, score draws, where we really should have seen the game out. Nottingham Forest was up first, and on the 10th minute they had an absolute dream start from them. Danilo playing it over to Elanga, and Elanga making Ariola commit himself and just poking it past him. The lead didn't last long though. 8 minutes later we were all square. Paquetá from 12 yards out. But authors of our own demise, Ogbonna, one of the last bits of action before he actually moved on and got sold, giving the ball away. Gibbs White hits us on the counter to make it 2-1. Before half time though, Bowen plays one out to the edge, and Paquetá helps it on to Johnson. Ben Johnson, the youngster who's broke into the first team over the last couple of seasons, makes it 2-2. And then with 20 minutes to play, we finally get our noses ahead in the game. Max Lowe getting to the byline, cutting it back for Paquetá to pounce. 95 minutes on the clock though. Lowe misses his header, misses the tackle. Hudson-Odoi hits the crossbar, but it bounces to Origi, who only had to get it on target to salvage a point for Forest. The point was probably what was deserved by them. They battled hard against us. We kept us sort of on our toes, having to fight back. But that was a sucker punch, having come back from a goal behind twice to get ourselves into the lead, and then a simple mistake like a missed header on the back post was a sucker punch. That led us on to Aston Villa, who are riding high. They are in real life. In this game, they are riding high again. And 3 days later, the Boxing Day fixture, we were at home to Aston Villa, and this one was a completely opposite to the Forest game. Villa bossed it from start to finish, to be honest. They took the lead in the second half after we were down to 10 men ourselves. We'd held on until John McGinn from 35 yards out hits an absolute screamer. 10 minutes later, Lucas Digne with the corner, and Emil Konsa makes it 2. Thinking it's all over, we throw caution to the wind. We push the high line up. We went all out attack, and Paquetá squares across for Mo Kudus. 94th minute. Okay, nice consolation goal. 98 minutes on the clock. Kudus again turns his man, plays it for Paquetá, and an absolutely fantastic instinctive finish from Paquetá made it 2-2. And like I said, look, we played. Divin Mubamba was sent off on 18 minutes. We played 70 minutes, 78 minutes with just 10 men. To be in with a shout and then to get that point back was a point gained rather than 2 lost. But the bad form continued, and it was Fulham away from home on the 29th of December, the last game that we've played through before we get our live game. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's tiredness. I don't know if it's we're just not up for the little teams. No disrespect to Fulham, but they're a smaller reputation team than West Ham. But we just didn't turn up. We really didn't turn up. Traore scored in the 27th minute. It was the only shot that they had on target, but they had more shots. They had a higher XG. We just didn't turn up. Their centre back Anthony Robinson was the man of the match. Bird Leonard played a 7.2, but we got what we deserved out of it. So it's been a great season, but this crowded December has really cost us a little bit with tiredness and sloppy defending. But we're out at the end of this now. We're back into sort of a normal routine coming up. We've got Bournemouth up next, and then we've got the FA Cup, Spurs and Everton in the Premier League, which sees out in January, and then we're into 4 games in February, which would be nice. Probably 5 with an FA Cup game though, hopefully. March is looking a little bit busier because we've got the round of 16 for the Europa League. So far, so good though. Transfer wise, there has been some movement. Angelo Ogbonna is on his way out. He's 35 years old anyway. He's making errors where he shouldn't be. His pace is starting to drop off a little bit, and he's going back home. He's going back to Italy. He wanted to return home, so he's off there. Thilo Kehrer didn't want to wait for his chance in the squad. He was told that he's a squad player. He's not first team guaranteed. He wasn't happy. So I said maybe it's better if you leave, and he agreed. He put in a transfer request, and he is on his way out. The contract is yet to be signed, but for 11.25 million up front, with potentially up to 14.5 million from Hertha Berlin, which would be nice, with a little bit more money to play around with. And Pablo Fornals originally wanted to go. I'll be honest with you, I have rejected bids. If someone comes in for 20 million, sure, whatever. I'll let that sink in. But he has started to play a little bit more, so I'm kind of hoping that he will stay at least for one more season, one more contract. But we'll see. We'll see where we go with that. Everton are interested in him, but they've only put up 2.5 million at the moment, and that's nowhere near enough. Also come in so far, we have got a couple come in already. One is, where's he gone? Andriy Lunin. Just a good young backup goalkeeper. He's only backup for the moment. As soon as Ariola starts having a dip in form, I've got someone who can just step straight in there, because Fabianski's gone. Fabianski's 38 years old. He needed to be off and about and around. And we are currently in talks with Gastrovilli on a free transfer end of contract. So we'll see how we get on there. That'll be someone just to bolster this midfield and see where we can go. But that's where we are. Now we're going to go forward. We're playing Bournemouth. We are at home. I'm hoping we can kick this funky form we've got and start the new year with a win. So let's come back when we're ready for game day. And we are here. It's game day. We have lost a couple of players due to internationals. Nayef Agard and Mo Kudus are at the African Cup of Nations, which means Divin gets a start up front, and Malang Sarr comes in as the left-sided defender. Apart from that, it's business as it has been usual. Ben Rama's still injured, as will be for the next 6 weeks. Scarl is injured. He's out for another 2 weeks with his sprained knee ligament suffered at Brighton. So it's Fornals out on the left, Paquetá in the middle, Bowen out on the right, with Divin Mubama up top. Hopefully this is one where we really can have a go at Bournemouth. Lunin is not having number 13, number 2, he's having number 13. we are in a good place in the league. A little bit weak with the form, inconsistent to say the least. Bournemouth are in good form. They're unbeaten in 5, and they're sitting in 13th. They've dragged themselves away from the bottom 3. Hopefully, though, this is something that we can start the year with a bang. Okay, so West Ham in the famous claret and blue, Bournemouth in their white and real dark blue, almost black away kit. 2nd minute, Malang Sarr. Zuma. Ward-Prowse to Max Lowe. Max Lowe coming inside, lifts out to Paquetá on the chest. Paquetá! That's the way to start a game. 2nd minute. Worked well from a deep free kick. Scott fouls Ward-Prowse. The ref plays on. Comes to Paquetá, chested down, and then from the narrowest of angles manages to squeak it in there. Building on it. Can we build and get the 2nd goal to give us that boost and give us that little bit of comfort? As we all know what 1 goal leads are like on this game. So 16th minute, Max Lowe combining with Malang Sarr. Fornals, Sarr, across to Zuma, from the left over to the right now with Ben Johnson. And Johnson down the line to Bowen. Bowen cuts, gets to the byline, pulls it back to Johnson, across to Ward-Prowse. Alvarez to Lowe, Max Lowe, 1st goal of the season. fantastic play that starts on the left, cross to the right, into the middle, and then a quick move out to the left back, and a fantastic finish from the fullback. Not something you expect to see. A first time finish. 2-0 on 16 minutes, and there's that goal cushion that we needed. Okay. Can we build? Can we just really go to town now with them? Gives the fans something to really cheer about. Johnson is looking for someone to go beyond him. Bowen finally has done that. Gets to the byline, pulls it back to Paquetá, over the top. Let's get some praise out to these boys. They're doing really, really well. "33 minutes. Divins headers over the top after a well-worked free kick. Currently lifts us up into 7th place, into those European spots, with Brentford and Man U drawing. So, okay, half time we've got there. Restricted them to the 2 shots, 67% possession. That's really, really good. Divins struggling. I've not really got anything I can do there, though. We are down to bare bones. Ollie Watkins is on the bench, but he's not fit. And while we don't need the goals, I'm going to let Divin hopefully play himself into a little bit of form. We are doing really, really well. Very happy. Keep it up. And we start the second half. A little bit slower start. Ward-Prowse with a deep free kick. Bamba's nod down, and Max Lowe looking for his second, but his shot was straight at the keeper. On the hour mark, Bowen intercepts the pass, driving forward. He's going to play it. Paquetá dispossessed, but Ward-Prowse recycles it. Finds Bowen again. Paquetá's finish is poor though. Skewed it wide when you'd think he'd hit the target. 25 minutes to play. Is that in the area? I'm not so sure. I think that might be out. Oh no, it's a penalty. Paquetá to take. Ward-Prowse. Paquetá makes it 3-0 and should tie up the game here. I don't think we've got Fornals is playing poor. I don't think we've got anyone who can do that. No. Okay, so we're going to let these guys play out the game. Johnson with a throw to Bowen's feet. Bowen turns inside onto his left foot, looking for that shot. Wicked bend on that. Careens off the crossbar. "85 minutes on the clock now. Surely not even West Ham can throw away a 2-goal lead from here. Long ball over the top. Christie's onto it though. Lowe stands him up. Scott squares it across. Rothwell. Oh no. Oh no. The defence goes back, but no one tracks a runner. The 2 midfielders are nowhere near Rothwell. One of those should be picking him up in that middle of the pitch there. And the board's happy. They've got no clean sheet bonuses they'll have to pay out. Brentford are beating Man U, so we're now out of the European spots. It's a 3-1 win though. Well done, boys. That's the way to start a new year. Areola didn't have a lot to do except pick the ball out the back of the net. Fornals and Divin picked up for the second half. 64% possession, 14 chances, 6 on target, 3 goals. that's a job well done there, and it will be related. Well done. Very happy with the result and the way you played. Hopefully now, before the next game comes in, we can get some players back fit, especially the front line. We need to get some reinforcements in here. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this video. Up next, we are going to have the start of our FA Cup journey in FM24. We've got Preston at home, followed by Everton and Spurs, and then we will probably, in fact we will be, we'll play through the rest, and we will come back and play the Chelsea game at home. They'll be looking for revenge, so we're going to play through the rest of January, we'll play through all of February, and we will bring back for the 2nd of March game against Chelsea. So thank you everyone that's been watching. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Anybody you think I should send my scouts to have a look at, hit me below in the comments. All and any advice, greatly appreciated. This is one video where back seating is very much allowed. Thank you very much for watching. You've been great. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Ta-ta for now.